Hi, Marsha. This is Barbara Howard calling you about the Christian Teen Biz interview. How are you?
Oh, good. How are you?
I'm doing great. And we're recording now, and I want to tell you, I did not know there was such a thing as goat milk soap.
A lot of people have not heard of it, but people with skin conditions and allergies usually know about it because their doctors will recommend goat milk soap.
Well, this is going to be very educational, and your company is actually Laurel Fork Farm, and you're in West Virginia in the U.S.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us about your business? Actually, it's a farm, but you've got a lot of different products going on over there, and also some elk hounds, so you're pretty busy.
Well, in order to make the farm work, everything started whenever I got laid off from a position. I was working for a private school, and my position was terminated. And so I decided that the best thing that I could do for my family was to do what I loved and to be more available for them. And so the farm just kind of, we've always lived on a farm, and we've always had animals, and we've always tried to be as self-sufficient as possible. And so, we just started building on the things that we already had. And my husband is lactose intolerant, so we got the dairy goats, and we actually drink the milk as well. And so I had the surplus of milk, and I didn't know what to do with it, and so I started looking into different things. I make cheese and all kinds of things just for the family, but to actually use the milk in a way that it could, help provide an income for the family. And so I started making soap and different products and just using it as gifts, and so that was a way to save money and keep costs down. But then people started calling me and saying, oh, we'd like to buy some of that soap, and so it was very interesting how it all came together. It actually came together by just a list of different circumstances, and then it just kind of bloomed.
You said something really interesting at the very start of that. You said your husband is lactose intolerant, but he can have the goat's milk. That doesn't bother him, huh?
No. In fact, doctors will also recommend goat's milk for people who are lactose intolerant because a lot of them can have goat's milk. There's the fat molecules in cow's milk are larger, so goat's milk it's a lot easier to digest as well.
Oh, I didn't know that, and I'm going to pass that along to my listeners on the other show because we're always talking about different types of problems that people have digesting certain types of foods or food allergies or lactose intolerance. So that's really important to know. And I had heard of and I have had goat's milk fudge, right? And it's very creamy.
Yes.
So I'm familiar with it to eat, but never washed my hands with it. So
another interesting thing about goat's milk is it's naturally homogenized, which means cow's milk, fresh cow's milk, you have to shake it because it separates, and goat's milk doesn't.
Oh.
So it stays together. So if we make butter, we have to actually use a cream separator to get the cream out of it.
Now, what kind of goats are these?
Nubians.
Okay.
And that's a dairy breed.
Okay.
There are dairy breeds and meat breeds, just like in the cow world.
Okay. And how many goats do you have?
Right now I have 13.
Okay. All right.
They're all getting ready to have their babies in about mid-February, and they usually have 2 to 3 babies, so I'm going to have my hands full.
Oh, boy.
It gets really busy that time of year. I become a hermit for about 2 months.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Now, how many people help you with your business?
Just myself, my husband, and my 2 children.
Okay. It's all family. Okay.
Yes. And this year, we're looking at the possibility of expansion, but I'm kind of on the teeter-totter. It's kind of like I have to make sure that everything's in place before I actually take that leap.
Yeah. Because you sell locally, but you're also on the Internet. Give us your website.
It's www.laurelforkfarm.com.
Okay, that's LaurelFork Farm, Laurel Fork Farm. And I used to live in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. So are you near that area, the Panhandle part of West Virginia?
We're actually closer to central West Virginia.
Okay.
The Canaan Valley area, the ski resort area is usually what people look for.
Okay. And for those listeners, I have people who listen from all over the world, but for those who listen outside the U.S., there's a slogan, West Virginia, almost heaven. It's beautiful. Part of West Virginia, just beautiful. Very natural, very serene sections of West Virginia, very pretty. Now, for your business, how do you grow your market, because you are somewhat in a rural area. So how do you do that?
Oh, yeah. I'm in a very rural area. I have to drive about an hour to the grocery store.
Okay.
So we're in the middle of nowhere. The best way that we're just blessed. I don't know exactly how everything got to where it is. We have the internet presence and word of mouth, I worked out at a ski area and people would come in and I would have some of the soap out. I sell to people all over the United States. And it just seems like word of mouth is like wildfire. Mm-hmm. And, it's almost like when people try it, then they just have to have other people to try it. And they're amazed by it, just like you were. You put milk in your soap, they
right.
just have to share it.
Yeah.
And then, we're doctor recommended now. So
I was going to say that. I was just reading that. Doctor recommended. Go ahead and tell us about that.
I have a doctor's office in Elkins, West Virginia, the Chua Family Practice, and it's a practice of doctors who actually prescribe my soap. And there are people who have had skin conditions their entire lives, and they've used all kinds of different salves and creams and prescriptions and all different kinds of things. And they have actually told them to only use my soap and nothing else, and their skin has been cleared up.
Wow. And it's all natural. They don't have to worry about all those chemicals and things that are, they sell, what I was thinking of, Marsha, was all those infomercials that there's scientists in some European country that, wearing the big lab coats, and they have this super serum that if you use it, you're going to have them, you're going to push back the hands of time. You're going to, the fountain of youth and all of these things. And I'm like, oh my goodness! And people are spending hundreds of dollars on these things. And here you have goat's milk that actually really does work.
And the amazing thing is, and I think that a lot of people are starting to catch on to this. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily what's in it; it's what's not in it.
Ah.
And that's the key. People really need to. Less is more.
Right.
You can clear up a lot of skin conditions by going back to the basics. And you don't have to have all the stuff. A lot of the soaps in the stores, if you actually look at them, they're detergent bars, and detergent is not the same thing as soap. And, detergent is man-made. It's a chemical. Mm. And so if you go into, if you actually buy soap at places that, are handcrafted soaps and things like that, you're actually getting real soap. And, nothing is taken out of our soaps. It's made all natural. And a lot of the bigger companies will remove the glycerin out of their soaps and ship it, down the street to their lotion factory and make lotion. And if they would just leave the glycerin in the soap, then you wouldn't need lotion.
And you have lotion too, though, right? Is one of your products?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do. And, I always tell people, if you use our soaps regularly, you probably won't need the lotion. But there are so many people who have used lotion for so many years that they can't not use it. It's more of a habit than it is a necessity. Mm-hmm. And our lotions are very quickly absorbed, and they don't leave a greasy feeling on your hands. So a lot of people really like our lotions and our body butters.
And you can have either, and I'm looking at all the different scents, and I've picked out my favorites already, but you can also have unscented, so you can do that. And here's something that's also important to a lot of people, is the goat's milk is hormone-free.